Hi everyone. Hope everyone is good today. Louise, have we got you online? Hopefully my colleague Louise will be here to join me shortly. So my name is Joanna Walsh and I'm delighted to be here today to present to you a warm welcome to the Postgraduate Open Day. It's a great place to be at, great virtual event to come to find out all of the information about the various courses and offerings of NUI Galway. So as I said, my name is Joanna. I work in the international office here at NUI Galway. So today myself and my colleague Louise are going to give you some information to help you at this point of your journey. So it may be that you're researching your options, maybe you're looking at the programs, or you've already chosen a program, or you're looking ahead in terms of how you will get to Galway. So we're here and we're going to provide the information you need for these various points in your journey. So my colleague Louise, she will join us later on in the presentation and will introduce herself and tell you all more about the university and the practical things to consider when applying to NUI Galway. Okay, so we have some slides to work through. So for the next slide, I'll cover the topics for our presentation. Okay, we all good? Good stuff. Okay, so just the points we plan to cover today. I'll cover an introduction to NUI Galway and Galway City. I'll go through the application journey and what's involved. We'll go through that pre-arrival piece, or onboarding as it's otherwise known. We'll cover getting to NUI Galway. We'll go through the orientation supports that are there and the other student supports that make for your transition to life on campus. We try to make it as easy as possible to give you the information that you need. Okay, so just to move onwards then, looking at why you're looking at Ireland as an education destination. So there's a couple of points here to consider on this slide. We'll bring them up. So Ireland is known worldwide as an excellent education destination. We have a great reputation for our knowledge economy. So there's many factors that will attract students such as yourself. Ireland is the headquarter of the many high-profile companies that choose Ireland as a base to do business across Europe. Again, it's a knowledge economy. We have a very high participation rate in higher education. Galway as a destination itself is quite safe. I'd say the city, it's a nice boho feel, if you like, but in addition to that, then it's also a medtech powerhouse. So Galway is one of the global medtech hubs, and our location on the edge of Europe has made us a desirable location for many multinationals. So then you have one of the key pillars of the university is that emphasis on research and discovery. So if you have a scientific mind, it's a good place to come. You'll feel right at home. So as per the slide, it's globally connected on the edge of Europe. So there's a reason why these multinationals have chosen to base their headquarters in Ireland. And it's all of those reasons. It's the higher education sector, it's the support from the government, and it's the industry. So all working together. There's the research opportunities, and particularly on the NUI Galway campus, we have excellent research institutes. And in general, the government spends 782 million on research. And a key attraction for international students then is the 24-month stay back, and that's specifically for non-EU postgraduate students. So moving on then to our good news just from this weekend, NUI Galway was awarded the Sunday Times Good University Guide. So that's the University of the Year title 2022. So that's the Sunday Times newspaper, this year's edition. They've given NUI Galway this wonderful accolade, and the Sunday Times praised the university for its humanitarian work and its groundbreaking research in tackling COVID-19 in the guide, which was published on Sunday. The award, according to the Times, was motivated by a determination to work for the greater good in the local and global communities, as its groundbreaking COVID research shows. So that's our news from this week. And then just to move on to some images of Galway City in the hinterland, what it looks like. So you have images here of the festivals, and we'll talk about these throughout the course of the presentation. Images of the Long Walk, the Cliffs of Moher and the Quadrangle. And then moving on to some points about Galway City. So we'll bring these up here. So Galway has a great location in Ireland. It's situated just 2.5 hours from Dublin on the Wild Atlantic Way. And that's a coastal route that goes from the north to the south. And it's one of the longest in the world. So in addition to the very scenic location on the edge of Europe, in terms of transport, there are very good links between Galway and the rest of the country. So most students would fly into Dublin Airport. It takes just 2.5 hours to travel from Dublin Airport down to Galway City. And there's a very regular bus service. So depending on what time you arrive into Dublin Airport, you can be on a bus within, say, 20 minutes in most instances, and arrive down in Galway within 2.5 hours. There's good rail service, good bus service linking Galway City to the rest of the country. Beyond that, then we have 3 airports, and continental within the region, and continental Europe is close by. Galway is well connected to Ireland then and Europe, with the train and the bus service connecting Galway City to Dublin Airport, as I said. And then we also have Shannon and Knock Airport. So they're either side of Galway City, over an hour away. So then we consider the city itself. So we have the transport links, we have the location, how to get there and how to travel around the country. So looking at the city itself, it's a city of vibrancy, culture, of arts, of festivals and fun, as per the slide here. And there's plenty of things to do all year round. You can get fresh donuts in the market on a Saturday morning, watching the Galway hookers out on Galway Bay, walking the Salt Hill Prom, or heading out to the scenic region of Connemara. And there's the Connemara National Park there. So NUI Galway contributes to this cultural dynamism through a diverse range of teaching programs that is focused on the creative arts. So the university itself, it's the beating heart of the city, if you like. It plays a big part in the vibrancy of the city. And hopefully you'll have the opportunity to come and visit the city itself. And of course, it has been voted the friendliest city in the world and the most charming city. And it's regularly named in the Lonely Planet's Best in Travel Awards. So then we move on to the global, or the worldwide reputation of NUI Galway. We're recognized in the top 1 to 2% of universities in the world. So in 2021, the QS published their 18th edition of the QS World University Ranking results. So since 2014, NUI Galway has moved up 42 places, having improved its rankings in 8 of the previous 9 years. So NUI Galway continues to perform strongly in its international scores, and this reflects really the welcoming and vibrant population of Galway City. And in particular this year, NUI Galway improved substantively with regard to its academic and employer reputation internationally. Now, just have a whistle-stop tour of the campus, and we can enjoy these images on this slide. So I think my favorite point here is the top left-hand image, which is that point of the campus that's closest to the city centre. So just to tell you a little bit then about the university, NUI Galway was established as Queen's University back in 1845 with approximately 70 students. We offer over 70 undergraduate programs and 170 postgraduate programs. So that's a total student population of over 18,500. And of course, it's a research intensive university. Ours is one of the oldest and largest universities in Ireland. We're at the heart of the distinct and vibrant region. a region that's already renowned for its unique culture, the creative industries, the medical technologies, as I mentioned earlier. It's the global medtech hub. Its location on the edge of Europe and on the west coast makes it a great location for the marine ecology, and of course the economy and the innovation. Then if we consider the structure of the university consists of four primary colleges: the College of Arts, Social Sciences and Celtic Studies, the College of Business, Public Policy and Law, the College of Medicine, Nursing and Health Sciences, and our College of Science and Engineering, which has been joined together in one college. So that's a single college, the College of Science and Engineering. And we also have a partner college, Shannon College of Hotel Management. Okay, so then to continue on our whistle-stop tour of the campus, this slide here shows us some of the buildings on the NUI Galway campus. So we have a nice mix. We have the very authentic and old quadrangle building where the university was established in 1845 that featured on the previous slides. And these are the newer buildings that feature on the campus. So we have over 90 buildings, and these are based on 105 hectares of land situated on the banks of the River Corrib. NUI Galway is just recently completed an investment of 400 million euros, a construction programme to really develop the campus, and it was the largest expansion of facilities in any university in Ireland. So in addition to these brand new buildings, such as the Biomedical Science Institute or the Human Biology building, we also have, it's a campus that's rich in biodiversity, with a trail that is designed to guide visitors through our natural habitats. And this is often used also for teaching and research purposes. So then we can move on to the application process. So this is a very important part in your journey. So hopefully you will use the Postgraduate Open Day to gather up all of the information about courses that you may be interested in. So what to do next. So to apply to NUI Galway, this slide here features the NUI Galway application portal, which is Ellucian CRM Recruit. So thankfully the application process is easy. It's all online and can be accessed via that link. And we can post up this information also. You can click in on the How to Apply section of our website. So it's very easy to navigate to that section, how to apply. For postgraduate students, there is an application fee of 35 euros, but this does permit you to apply for 2 programs. So the 35 euro application fee can usually be paid by credit card or debit card. So just to note then, only complete applications are reviewed. So check the documentation requirements for your course so that you can make sure that you have provided everything that they need to review your application. So some courses may require a CV, most courses will require a personal statement. So there's a section in the How to Apply page. You can look through the documentation requirements and check and see what your program director requires. And just to point out then, at postgraduate level, we have all of our program directors will review your applications and go through them. And it's an open door policy, so feel free to reach out to the staff at the International Office or the program team if you need clarification on any aspect or need any further information to help you finalize your application. So students will ask what the closing date is. Well, NUI Galway does not set specific closing dates for receipt of applications. Now, there may be some exceptions, so it's good to check on the program course page. But generally speaking, for most of the applications, most of the courses will accept applications on a rolling basis. So I guess the point here is some courses are quite popular and high demand. So in some instances, they may reach capacity quite quickly. So our advice really is to apply as soon as possible once you've made your decision and apply online. And at this point in the cycle, we would have capacity on most of the programs at any rate. So a next question that some students would ask is, how do you know if your application has been progressed? Well, you will receive an email alert to check your application status on that online application system. So it's vital that you give the correct email address on your application and that you're checking this email account and it's working. So yeah, important, check your email regularly for those notifications. And the applications will continue to be reviewed continuously throughout the application cycle. So to secure a place on one of our taught postgraduate programs at NUI Galway, there's usually a deposit amount that's payable. And that's payable when you go to accept your offer. So to accept the offer, the deposit is payable, but this is then deducted from your course fees at the registration stage. So in effect, it's a partial payment of the ultimate course fees. So you are normally asked to accept and pay the deposit within 2 weeks of offer, and the tuition fees vary per program. And again, this information is usually available on the course page. So there's a few key points. When you check on the course page, it will tell you the overview, sometimes it tells you the modules or the course content, and the section indicates the course fees. And there's also a section on who to contact. So if you have any queries about the program, it's that point of contact you can reach out to, or indeed attend any of the information sessions at the open day today for further information. So then we can move on then. I'm not sure if my colleague Louise has joined us just yet.
I'm here, Joanna.
Oh, good woman. Will I hand it over to you also, Louise?
Yes.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'll cover the next one and then we'll hand the mic over to you. Okay, so yeah, this slide here shows the sections in the website, the Study in Ireland and offer holder information. So the website is designed, as you can see, it's depending on which point in the journey you are. The Study in Ireland gives you all of the information just before you're about to apply. And then the offer holder is that next stage. So if you check at our International Office webpage, you'll see each of those sections, and that will have a lot of the information that you need. So that helps. The first section, Study in Ireland, will help you make the decision. And then the second piece is the offer holder. So once you have your offer, what the next stage is and where to go from there. So we'll move on then to the location, and I'll hand the mic over to Louise. And sorry, Louise, if you want to introduce yourself, we didn't get a chance earlier on.
Oh, hi everyone. Sorry, I'll put on my, have I got my my video on? No. Start video. Do you really want to see me? I can't get the virtual background working, so apologies about that. So our location, oh yeah, first of all, I work with Joanna, and in the international office, my role is International Student Officer. And so that role really looks at supporting international students while you're here, how best we can help you integrate into college life, into the community here. I would normally deal with orientation and also with any kind of issues that you may have once you're here. So I do a lot of other different things, but yeah, basically it's student support. So our location. Okay, so in terms of our location, we're biased, but we believe that we have one of the most beautiful locations in Europe. So we're on the west coast of Ireland, which is pretty rugged, and if you look outside today, it's a little bit wet and windy, but it's really beautiful, and the city is very charming. It's very vibrant, it's cosmopolitan, and we're located in the landscape of Connemara, which is one of the most well-known areas of Ireland. It's very, very wild but really beautiful. So yeah, we're always winning prizes for Ireland's most charming city and friendliest destination, all that kind of thing. And it actually is true. We are pretty friendly, and the city is very, very, very vibrant. We have a really young population because we have nearly 20,000 students in the university, and then there's another third level education or third level institute as well. So we have lots of local craft, high street shops, artisan food outlets, restaurants. So there's a lot of opportunities for students as well who would be looking for a part-time job when they're here. Lots of different places employ students, and it's just a very youthful, energetic city. Next slide, Joanna, please.
No worries.
Thanks. So yeah, I was saying, I kind of deal with orientation once you're here, but before you come, and particularly last year, we did a lot of pre-arrival activity with students. So you can attend events in your region. Some will be online, some will be in person. And the rest of our team are involved in that as well. So even if you're just considering studying at NUI Galway, or if you've already made your application and you have queries, we can always help with that. So we ran a lot of those last summer. And we did a lot of kind of meet and greets with student ambassadors. We have a team of student ambassadors that are students who volunteer to work with us and to kind of be our interface to the outside world. And they were meeting with students, potential students, throughout the summer. And we're still getting them to work with throughout the year as well, because obviously we still have a lot of students thinking about coming to study with us. Okay. Next, please, Joanna.
Yeah, and just to mention then, of course, there's a session on just after this today where Sive is chatting to some of those student ambassadors, and that's another opportunity to put in any questions and get some of the students' insights.
Definitely, and it's always better to hear it from the horse's mouth. I mean, we tell you stuff and we are very honest, and we tell you the truth, but the other students will give you the real lowdown. Isn't that right, Joanna?
That's true. Yeah. It's always good to get
hear it from the horse's mouth. Okay, so getting ready to study in Ireland. Okay, so obviously your tuition fee, and you get that, all of the instructions on how to pay are in your offer letter. Okay, so there's usually a deposit, and then the rules regarding payment and deposit depend or vary from program to program. But then your deposit will be, if you decide to accept the offer, your deposit will be deducted from your tuition fee. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff on fees, but we have a tuition fees section on our website, and I would advise you to look at that closely if you're considering coming to study with us. So health insurance. Okay, so we need health insurance because when you're coming here to study, and you're not, if you're coming from outside of the EU, you need to register with immigration. You need to register as a student in the country. And for that, you need to have health insurance. Okay, so we work with a group called Study and Protect, and that is the one that most students actually choose. But I won't go into too many details because obviously that's further on down the line. But just to let you know that if you do come and you are coming from outside of the EU, you will need to have health insurance. So obviously you need to also look at whether you'll need a visa or not, because some of you will need a visa to come and study here, some won't. That all depending on your country. So then make your travel arrangements, obviously, book your flight, pack your things, what to pack. Did you go through that already, Joanna?
No, I didn't actually. No,
Okay.
there could be a useful video on that. No, didn't get to
Yeah.
the packing stage just yet. Over to you, Louise.
Okay, no, we have a list,
Yeah.
I think, on our website about packing light, making a list of things that you'll need to see you for the first few weeks, but not to bring your whole wardrobe with you, basically. You know, a lot of students think that they won't be able to buy the things that they need over here, but fortunately or unfortunately, the world is pretty much, you know, you can get everything that you need or want here, even mac and cheese if you're an American student, which is a lot of students. I have been sent boxes of mac and cheese over the years. Okay, so book your accommodation, plan your budget. That's a tricky one. So it's expensive. Life is expensive here, but if you know beforehand and you have a clear idea of your budget, it'll make things an awful lot easier. So the biggest expense will be accommodation, and that we really advise that you look at booking that before you come. We have allocations for international students in our student residences. and the costs are quite expensive, but they range from 3,700 a year to about 6,000. So there's a huge range. You can find accommodation to suit every budget. Obviously, you can. You don't. There's a wide range. People living with families, people living with landlords, renting apartments, sharing, etc., etc. So together, you'll be able to depending on what your budget is, you'll be able to find something to suit your pocket. Next slide, please, Joanna.
Okie dokie. And I guess just on the visa one, it can vary from country to country. So it's good to check out the local embassy, for example, the embassy in New Delhi for Indian students, the embassy in Beijing for Chinese students. So, but we do give some of that information on our website as well. So have a check there in the first instance.
Yeah, guys, and I apologize for that phone ringing. I actually have a 24/7 phone, as in a phone that covers emergencies for international students. So I have to have it on the whole time. Luckily, that wasn't an emergency, but I have to always have my phone on. So just to let you know that is a service that we provide as well for out of hours emergencies that can't be dealt with in any other way. Obviously, if you have an accident, call an ambulance, or if something is stolen. But other emergencies, I'm there for students who need help. Okay, so where are we? Sporting facilities. Okay, so we have a lot. We have something to suit everybody, basically. We're based on the River Corrib. So as you can see in that slide there are loads. There's a big, very vibrant rowing club. We have a massive gym. We have about 40, if not 50 at this stage, sports clubs. We've lots of outdoor spaces for football, soccer. There's everything you can think of, basically, we have. There's fitness studios, there's a climbing wall, we have a big swimming pool with sauna and steam room. And yeah, we're a pretty sporty campus, and we do very well at national level in all of the intervarsities. Okay, next slide, Joanna, please.
On we go. Oh, yeah, there.
English language.
Yeah,
okay.
I can take. Yeah, I don't mind.
Will you speak to that, Joanna? Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. So we have the English Language Centre. So this is there's two aims here. So for students that have applied, but they might not have reached the IELTS requirement just yet. So say if they have an IELTS of 6.0, but they need, most programs, the overall requirement is 6.5. We do have courses available on campus for those students. So it's a 10-week, and that's pre-sessional course. So yes, if you had an IELTS of 6 with a minimum score 5.5 to get into that course, I think the dates are May till July, so 16th of May to the 22nd of July, and the fee is 3,000. But it's a good way, I guess, to immerse yourself into the campus. So yeah, there's two aspects there. Once you complete the course, you don't have to do an additional test. So successful completion of all course modules with a minimum average exit grade of 70%, and of course good attendance, 90% attendance, means you transition straight onto your postgraduate program. In addition to that, then there's a 4-week pre-sessional program. So this I guess is if you're at the English language requirement, but it's if you want to improve your skills, both your language and your academic skills, prior to commencing your course. So again, you're already at the requirement. I guess it's just to so you feel more confident as you progress onto your course. And we can pass on the contact details for all of those, and applications are open. Now, in addition, so that's before you start. Then once you are studying, we also have English for academic purposes workshops. So they're free to students. And once you're a registered student, you can sign up to the EAP workshops. And again, it's to give you confidence in your use of the English language. And it can also help in terms of academic writing in that. So that's an in-sessional supports they're called, provided by our English Language Centre. over to you, Louise, for some festivals.
Okay, festivals of Galway. So yeah, Galway's, as I said earlier, Galway's a pretty vibrant city, and there's always some kind of festival going on. So the biggest one is the Arts Festival, which takes place during the summer, but the one there on the left with all the fireworks and the pyrotechnics, that's Machnas. We've a really well known throughout the whole country, sort of a group that does a lot of parades and themed processions through the streets, and that one is for Halloween. It's really, really good. They do, it's very, very intricate and very kind of amazing, actually, when you see these massive creatures. They create these massive creatures and they walk them down the streets. So we have a film festival. We have a comedy festival. I think that's starting soon. What else? We have Court, which is a poetry festival, a literary festival. There's an oyster festival. There's a horse racing festival. So basically you get the idea. There's lots of festivals.
Yeah,
there's always a lot to do. I mean, students do always report back that they're, you know, amazed at the amount of activity and cultural activities taking place in Galway, aren't they, Joanna?
Yeah, and I think the film flab by far, I really like that one, because most of the films are on in the Town Hall Theatre, and it's actually just a hop, a skip and a jump off the campus. You're there in a few minutes. When you attend, like, it's an international film festival, so you get to meet celebrities, shall we say. But you see in the image here, they do good Q&A sessions afterwards, so you actually get to ask questions from the directors and get to see the actors and actresses in close. So yeah, that's my favorite.
Apparently Colin Farrell was staying in the G Hotel recently.
Ooh, very good.
Anyway, okay, next one. Please, Joanna.
On we go. Cost of living.
Oh God, yeah, back to the more back to the tricky stuff. Back to reality, exactly. So obviously we recommend that you plan in advance how much money you'll need to save to live here. So obviously, you know, you don't want to arrive here and realize, okay, it's pretty expensive, I can't afford anything, I'm going to have to live on bread for the rest of the year. So you need to plan, okay? So we have a kind of that slide there just gives you a generic cost of living estimate in Galway. So you can see that, you know, rent can cost around €500, but it can cost less, a little bit less, but it can cost a good bit more as well, depending. And so just bear that in mind, okay? Also, some of the budgets or for renting may not include phone bills and internet, electricity, so you need to factor that in as well. Sometimes they'll be included, sometimes they won't. So then you have to think about what you like to eat and how you like to eat. So obviously we've loads of restaurants and lots of big grocery stores and lots of discount grocery stores and everything. We've also good Asian and ethnic markets as well. So it just depends. You'll just have to be sensible when you come here and plan, and possibly cook a lot for yourself. If you're not used to cooking, you know, get your skills up to scratch before you come. So Galway's relatively small, and that's why there's such a good atmosphere, because you can pretty much walk everywhere that you need to go. However, you mightn't always, you know, be that close to campus in terms of, you know, getting in and out for classes. So you can either rent or buy a bicycle, or there is a decent bus service. And as a student, you will get a thing called a leap card, which will save you on public transport. So you'll look into that when you come here. So it's expensive, but we do have scholarships available as well. And I think we may be covering at those later, Joanna, are we?
Well, I don't have a slide on it, but yeah, we will. We're currently working on the scholarship offerings with the colleges. So the reason it's taking a bit longer this year is that we want to give more away, obviously, and we want to have more region-specific scholarships. So hold that thought for a few more weeks, and then as soon as we have it all confirmed with each of the colleges, and we might have specific scholarships per college as well, but all to be revealed, and hopefully quite shortly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So basically what we're saying is plan, do a bit of research, and yes, plan more than anything and save, because it is, you know, and going anywhere is going to be expensive, but you need to have a clear idea of what to expect in terms of cost, so you won't be caught out when you come here, basically. Okay. All right, what's the next one, Joanna, please?
On to the next. This is good detail in relation to the accommodation then, Louise.
All right, so here we have pictures of what to expect. So there's a wide variety, even in terms of student accommodation. We have on-campus accommodation in Corrib Village, which is our older student residence. So the prices range, as you can see there, from around 3,700 to 6,000. So you could be sharing a room, your twin room, like you can see there. So the room that's pictured there is a sharing room, a twin room. There's never more than 2 people in a room in Ireland, generally speaking. You don't, unless you're renting private accommodation and that's your choice. The maximum you'd get here, as opposed to, let's say, in America in a dorm, or in China, for example, you may have more people. In Ireland, you'd only ever be sharing with one other person, and the majority actually are single occupancy. Goldcrest is our newer village, and that's why it's more expensive. It's pretty posh. You can see the pictures down there. Everybody has their own private room and their own bathroom, so that's why the prices are a little bit more expensive. So we have other residential or university residences off campus. They're managed privately, but they're still report into the university in terms of taking in students throughout the year. So we have 5 more of those, and we have a dedicated accommodation office. So they are the people who would have the most up-to-date information on what's available all around the city, be it in digs, which is what we call living with the family, or you can share with the landlord, or you can have your own private apartment, and, you know, just with your own friends, or sharing with other either students or workers. So there's a wide range. But you'll have to decide what suits your budget best and what suits your needs best, whether you want something, you know, on your own or sharing. Okay.
Yeah.
Did I mention enough? Did I mention everything there, Joanna?
At the launch pad.
Oh, yeah. So we have Student Pad, which is it's kind of a purpose-built database of providers, and you log on using your student ID, and you'll be able to see what's available there, and all of those are verified via our accommodation office. We strongly recommend that unless you're booking something via the university, that you don't book anything online before you come, as in you don't pay huge deposits, because you know what life is like nowadays. There are a lot of scams going on, and you can never be sure unless you're there to actually see. So what we recommend is that students come, maybe stay in a hostel for a few days, and then find private accommodation. That's if you haven't accessed student accommodation via the university.
Yeah, perfect. And I guess Corrib Village, for example, opens for bookings in February. So it's time, it's something to start considering even early next year if you wanted to live on campus, or to start checking when the rooms are released to put your booking in good time.
Yes, and there is a date, I think, up to which you can get your booking fee back if you decide not to, I think. So, but always, you know, the university rules are the student residences are pretty uniform in terms of that, but the ones that are managed off campus, just make sure that you're clear on booking deposits and on what happens if and all of that. Just read the small print always.
Yeah. Okay. Now we go on to this lovely colorful student experience.
Okay. Student experience. Okay, so we've a really diverse student body basically in the university. It's very diverse. I actually just the other weekend went to Diwali, Festival of Light for Indian students, and it was brilliant. I think that's some of the girls there, not this year but another year. So yeah, we have students from, I think we've about 4,000 international students now altogether, and from 110 countries, Joanna, is that correct?
Yeah,
across the world?
that's it. Yeah, exactly.
So as well as the student body being very diverse, Galway itself is a very diverse city. For whatever reason, probably because of the cultural background and because of the the huge amount of cultural activity going on, we have a very diverse population, both in the city and in the university. So we have student exchange programs from 200 international universities around the world. And we also have a global community of staff. So about 35% of the staff are from overseas, from around 45 different countries. And so when students come to Galway, so you're immediately thrown into a bit of a melting pot of a global community, which is great, I think. I mean, obviously, you'll get to meet Irish students, you'll get to sample part of Irish life or Irish life in general, but we do have a huge and very diverse student population and just population of Galway as well. So we have 120 student societies. We have our own student newspaper, we have our own student radio. We also recommend getting involved in the community just to feel as if, you know, you're part of the Galway community. And for that, we have a really vibrant volunteering department called Alive. And that means that you can give some time to work with older people, vulnerable people. You can work with the environment, animals, people with additional special needs. We've a lot of different things going on in terms of getting involved and integrated in the community. And we also have a very strong student union, which represents students at university level. So if you feel like, you know, you need additional support, that you have any issues that are affecting you as a student, we have a really, really strong and independent student union that students can always avail of. And we have an international student officer as well, specifically representing international students. Okay, next one, Joanna. Did I miss out on anything?
No, that was perfect. You have it all. Yeah, the Students' Union is great because all of the students have their voice, if you like, in the running of the university. So they're represented at a top level. So it's good. And it's great experience for any students that get involved in that activity as well. Now, on to another serious point, Louise.
Okay. So, yeah, so one of the big advantages to coming here to studying as an international student is if you pass your degree or your master's, so let's say your undergrad or your master's, you can apply to stay here and work after graduation. And the majority of our students do that. So it's a real possibility because Galway is one of the leading global med tech hubs. So we've lots of multinationals based here in the city, lots based around Ireland as well, but we have a huge proportion of them here in Galway, Boston Scientific, Medtronic, etc. So if you come here to study a master's, you can apply for what's called the graduate permit scheme, which will allow you to stay here legally to look for work for 2 years, 24 months after you complete your studies. So we've a really well-run career service as well, which helps the student throughout the year of their postgrad. So developing your CV, they run job fairs constantly, upskilling, just CV writing, all sorts of skills that you may need. And they have a lot of the employers coming onto campus looking for talent, basically. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. So we also partner with industry. We have lots of links in with the different industries here in Galway. So it's a really, really like the world is your oyster, basically. The world is your oyster. If you do well, if you're ambitious, you study hard, and if you get a good degree, you won't have a problem. Particularly in specific areas in Galway, but I mean Dublin, there's massive software companies and IT companies like Google. Who else is in Dublin? Yahoo. Well, they're all listed there. There's loads of them. There's loads of them. There's no shortage of work if you're willing to work hard, basically.
Yeah, and I guess the Career Development Centre is great because it gives you the opportunity to interact with them. So they'll come onto the campus, these companies, for the jobs fairs. And yeah, that's your chance then to meet with them. So it's good. You have your chance to engage and interact. And the Career Development Centre are excellent. They would have weekly events for students. So
yeah, they're really good. They're really good, and they'll teach you, or not teach you, but they'll give you tips on how to approach the job market in Ireland, because obviously, you know, each culture is different on how you present yourself and how you write your CV and how you do interviews, and they do interviewing techniques and lots of different stuff. Actually, it's a very, very worthwhile service. Really good. So then meet our students.
On we go. Yeah.
So that's a picture of some of our international student ambassadors. So they're current students who have made the move. They're here, they're studying here, and they're willing to share their experience with incoming students. So they do a lot of blogging for us. They've an Instagram page that they keep updated. They're really, really involved, and they give campus tours for us when we have visitors coming on campus. So they record their daily life on our international student blog. So it'll be really interesting. Well, I think if you're interested in coming here to find out, you know, what it's really like from a student point of view, you should check out some of their blogs and the Instagram page. So we've a new group coming in this year, but I think we also have some left over, or some from last year that are continuing on, that are doing degrees. So I think we're going to have a session, as you said, Joanna, straight after this with some of the ambassadors. So you can actually join in that one as well. It's really good. You can ask them any questions you like.
Good stuff. And I should have mentioned at the start, actually, Louise, that this session has been recorded, so you can revisit all of our advice at a later stage as well.
Or just delete me. Sorry, I'm joking. Yeah, so it's been recorded.
It's been recorded. It's there forevermore for you to revisit it and go through. That's really it. We've covered everything.
Okay.
So there's plenty of ways to contact the international office, and we've listed them all there. You can connect with the student ambassadors via social media. You can email us. So we're always here, aren't we, Louise? Happy to help.
Yes. Yeah. No, seriously, we are. Yeah. If you have questions, because it's a huge commitment coming or thinking about coming. No, it's huge. So do your research, and yeah, any questions now, happy to answer anything, or if I can't answer them, we'll try. Will we, Joanna?
Well, yeah, we can give it a go. Yeah, and we're just mindful. So I think the session with the student ambassadors is 1 o'clock, so we don't want to eat into their time, but yeah, happy to answer some questions.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask. Any question is valid.
Hi there, this is Vishak from Delhi, India.
Hi, Vishak.
Yes, actually I got enrolled into MBY, that is Masters in Business Analytics. I got the admission confirmation from NUI Galway last week only.
Congratulations.
Yes, I've also paid the initial 500 euros deposit, and like I've got the offer letter. But only thing that isn't updated yet is the fees, the annual fees. So just I wanted to know whether you guys have any update regarding that or not.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Still...
We've had some website issues. There was an attempted cyber attack on the website, so that has delayed some of the background systems. They were just taking their time. They want to make sure everything is in order. So I'll directly after this now, we'll check in again to see if they're available, and they should be updated shortly. So my apologies for that. We're working on it, and hopefully we'll have it rectified by the end of the week, I expect.
Is that okay, Vishak?
Yes. Thank you so much for the info. I'll wait and wait for the couple of weeks.
Just keep an eye out over the next few days, and it should be up by the end of the week. If it's not, you can email us on the contact details there that are on the last slide. Okay, Vishak?
Yes, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah, and congratulations. You've done everything in good time. You're all set. You have plenty of time to prepare. So, and I know you need that documentation now for your study visa process. So we'll ensure to get it out to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, thank you all.
Good stuff.
Anyone else? Jemima. Hi, Jemima.
Hi. Yeah, I have a short question as well. Actually two. So the first one would be if it's smarter to enroll faster or to apply now rather than like in January. So it's a rolling application or.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess it depends on the courses. So for example, that business analytic course, that would be a very high demand program, that business analytics, artificial intelligence. So they would reach capacity quite quickly. So generally our advice is to apply as soon as possible. Now, some students would say, well, I haven't graduated just yet. And in that instance, then you would send your most recent transcript so that you're given the program team an indication of the academic level that you're at now. So that's the advice there. And additionally, if you say didn't have an IELTS certificate, you could still submit your application pending receipt of that. And I guess, you know, in some instances, the IELTS certificate or the English language test is a study visa requirement. So it is good to always check and see. Sometimes you might assume, oh, sure, I don't need an English language test, but it actually, in most instances, it's a study visa requirement. So if you need a study visa to come and study in Ireland, you'll need the IELTS test. So long answer, but yeah, so I'd say apply as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And the second question would be if it's possible to apply for more than one subject or just one?
No, you can apply for two programs. So there is an application fee of €35, and that permits you to apply for two programs or courses, whatever term you're most used of. And both of those applications are reviewed at the same time. So you can be considered for two programs, two courses at the same time.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
No worries.
Hi, I saw that for some student visas, you are allowed to work part-time as well, up to 20 hours a week. In your opinion, do you find that most students have time to work as well as they're doing their studies?
Oh, it totally depends, Kylie.
Okay.
Am I pronouncing your name properly?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, totally depends. Totally depends on the program that you're doing and how intensive it is and what year you're in and what time of the year. But yeah, all students who come here, they get what's called a stamp 2 on your passport. So once you get that, you'll get a thing called an IRP. So it's your Irish Residence Permit card. And that allows you to legally work 40 hours during during holidays, but 20 hours during term time. So yeah, you can work 20 hours throughout term, and then the holiday period at Christmas and summer, you can work 40 hours. It really totally depends how good you are at balancing and managing your study and what program you're in and how intensive it is. But if you want to work and if you have the time, there's a lot of part-time work available, especially at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, this is Manya.
Manya, hiya. Hello.
So I've applied for a master's in journalism, and I understand because of the cyber attack on your website, it took a little time to hear back. But I heard back from on Sunday night saying that I've been invited for an interview, and I did follow back, but I haven't heard back from them for the time or the date for the interview. So should I wait for the end of the week or should I follow back myself?
When's the last time you heard from them?
Sunday.
What day is today? Tuesday. I would say leave it until tomorrow morning, and if you don't hear back by the end of today, give them another reminder tomorrow. What would you say, Joanna?
Yeah, I was just going to put my email address in the thing to follow up as well if you want to reach out to me. So it's johanna.walsh@nuigalway.ie. I'd say, yeah, I think they would have been off for the weekend, we hope. So yeah, I'd say you'll hear back shortly. But if you're concerned at all, drop me a line and I'll chase up with the program team or our colleagues over in the College of Arts.
Great, thank you.
No worries. You all good?
Guys, I'm going to say goodbye because I have another meeting at 1 o'clock, but it's been lovely to meet you and best of luck with your decisions and choices and journey here if you decide to come. And who knows, I might meet you one day, not too soon.
And likewise, because we want everyone, if they want to have an opportunity to go to the Student Ambassador session, they have a few minutes now so they can prepare and head on over to that. So as Louise said, thanks so much for attending the session today, and keep in touch with us, and hopefully you'll see us in person at some point in September. When? Next year? September 2022, Louise. My goodness.
I know, but it rolls around pretty quickly.
I
Okay,
know.
best of luck, everybody. Okay.
Best of luck. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye all.